I just woke up and the whole town is covered in snow. There was a wizard blizzard last night and I slept through the whole thing. I feel better today, but my ankles are still bright red. They're not swollen or anything, but they're bright red. And I'm not gonna tell my mom because I don't want her to get worried and stuff. I know what it is. But she did get me some movie called Valerian, so I think I'm gonna watch that today. And I'm going to try to send K2 some more stuff. I don't have any envelopes, and that makes it difficult to mail letters when you don't have any envelopes. Also, I talked to Geronimo, and he asked me how I was and blah, blah, blah. And he said, are you still obsessed with eating cherries and stuff? And I was like, no, but I should be. I just forgot I was. I don't know how that happens sometimes. When you can have something that's like your absolute favorite and you overdo it for a little bit. So you just, decide to take a break from it. And then you're like, how did I forget this is my favorite food in the world? And I like to put them on everything, And so I'm like, I need envelopes, cherries, and then I'm going to do some more science stuff for K2 because I found a bunch of the science project stuff where she just had to read them and not actually do the experiments like on the universe and the sun, sun and moon, all that stuff, the astronomy stuff. Thank you. That stuff with the sun and the moon and stars. I think, there's people that like study and stuff. They have a term for it and it's called stargazing motherfuckers. No, astronomy. And so I'm going to try to send her some of that stuff. I might just read it all now. I know I already posted it, but I'm going to read it all myself now and then put it in one brown envelope and send it. I think that's a better plan for that. So, because sometimes what I do is I know the kids want stuff, and so I do it and send it there so they can grab it if they absolutely need it. And then when I have a chance to read it myself, then I send it to them. And so just taking a picture of it or glancing at it usually is good enough for me to absorb it. When I was growing up, the Baldwins were from our town, and their sister, like Billy Baldwin, Alec Baldwin and stuff, their sister, Kim Basinger, all stuff, they went to my church. But their sister was one of our substitute teachers, and there was this one day in science class that she taught us about. She's the one that taught us about osmosis and diffusion, and it was a significant conversation in my life. So I still remember it. The difference between absorbing stuff through osmosis is water, and through diffusion is solid surfaces and stuff. So I was joking then that I like to absorb my information through osmosis, and she said, well, that's through water. You would have to soak your stuff in water. And you would want to learn it through diffusion, by putting a book under your pillow and just having it come through. And I thought, no, I want to learn my information through osmosis, having a book in the house, but turning on the water and then having it be absorbed. And we were all joking and stuff like that. But on some level, I've been playing around with that forever because I'm very, very sensitive. And so if you just, see stuff or whatever, it still gets in. Not all of it. But when I have a psychology of teaching and peer tutoring degree that I had to get in order to work as a writing person, as a writing assistant, and like jocks and stuff, like they need help going over their papers and everything, stuff like that, right? So they pass and get good grades and all that stuff. And so she always said, to read, you go over one line, down three, back over, down three, back over. That's how we read when we're really, really in a hurry. As intergalactic assassins extraordinaire or whatever. But I don't usually do that. I like to savor every single word, which is why it takes me so long to do stuff. And I'm like, wait a second. I wasn't paying attention. I have to go back a paragraph. What word did they use here? And it makes a major difference to me. Every little word makes a difference to me, because I love literature, especially English literature. On my SATs, I scored equal in math and verbal. So my scores were the same, which was 630. Not stellar. And I took all those, review classes up on the hill, Syracuse and stuff like that. I took every SAT too. And I did awesome at those. But essentially, I got into college because of the ACTs. And I got like a 28 on that. But that's what got me into college was my ACTs. And that morning on the way there, I saw a herd of deer and a swarm of ladybugs. And so I knew I was going to do well. And that worked for me. Anyway, but I'm equally strong, exactly, on left and right brain thinking. When you do all those tests, and when you look at my chakras, they're all equally balanced. And so, people come at me a lot, and they say a lot of things about me. But if you look at all my stuff, I am the most well-balanced, equally even person there is. And that's what to react to, is they're not used to seeing that. But I've worked on it a lot. So, getting back to English literature. When I read, I go on every single one of those words and to do it. And I have a system to mark it, and everybody knows it. My writing stuff, and they can tell what I've read and not read. So that when I go back, I'll know. I know. But the first time I do something, I take pictures, I post, whatever, real quick. I just and then for me to see how quickly that just absorbs, because that's what I'm working on for the science part of me. And then when I care about, actually that information, then I sit down and it takes me a while. And then I send it to them. And so the kids can see what I got out of it. And they will have had their copy, and they'll know what they got out of it. And they'll be able to compare. And then I usually get rid of it. And I wish now I hadn't gotten rid of all that stuff I got rid of. And when I thought, we got to move on. I get rid of all these sacred objects and, important papers and stuff like that, because we're not going to make it much longer. And my heart goes out to people that lose their homes, or somebody dies, and they know how important all those things are, and they don't have time to get rid of it and dispose of it properly. So they have to have people come and just do whatever. But I was thinking about that today, and we have a good system now for extraterrestrial and people that are mutated and stuff to do that. And we always get those things no matter what. So that is, the goal a lot of times in driving people out. Like, think about the Jewish people, right? Those people are dead, but those sacred objects that they wouldn't give back, well, they can call those spirits back over and over again. It's a mean thing. So you can't be neutral and still take that stuff into your bank, right? That's choosing a side, and we all know it. Why? Because then they can hurt their family, generations and generations after each other, if you know how to birth a spirit, like I did with Kira. And so we know, and I was talking to people this morning, and, I was talking about where to go and stuff like that. And, it's not all 50 states. I think, and now we have territories and stuff like that. They teach, right there, that they teach, that they lie to you in school. And the Commonwealths have been great. But they're having a lot of problems and stuff still in Pennsylvania. And so, until they've really fixed the Liberty Bell as a symbol for our country, it's not great again. You have to fix the Liberty Bell if you think that this is a free country. And until you do that, people, please don't vote for anybody until they fix the stuff like that. Or what? You're just hurting the people that really do care and are out there every day, not going to work, not paying taxes, doing the right thing, and waging the real battle. And so, shout out to the Commonwealths. We all love and support you. And let's hope that they fix your Liberty Bell, or else what? I'm not voting, but I am going to work on my computer science skills.